Howdy, howdy. We are continuing Final Fantasy XIV storyline. We're talking to Alphinaud outside of the, can't remember what the name of this place is, but we are in Ul'dah, Chamber of Rule. The big old, banquet area where they hold all their special meetings. But anyway, stories we tell. Cutscene, fade to black. I should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought that all this was chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do you think they intended to hide the existence of Omega from the Scions? That they even felt the need to do so is most troubling. It would be in our best interest to learn more of the military activities in the disputed territories. You are, of course, the Scion best suited to this task, Lieutenant Valkyr. Do take a moment to visit the Adder's Nest and make inquiries at the earliest available opportunity. Begone, whelp, this is no place for children. A guard is just admonishing this crying kid named Ellie. I'm sorry. I think it's the girl we saw outside the gate, whose parents were kind of duped and led off into a rebellion thing. I believe so, yeah. I was looking for you, miss. You said that you were looking for a man who left with my parents. You know this girl? You explain. It's a long explanation. So he visited Stone's Throw as well. I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I'm afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be. If you like, we can go and look for them together. Really? You'll help me look, mister? He nods. Of course, but first, I must needs finish speaking with my friend. She's telling me a secret, you see, so no one else is allowed to listen. Mayhap you could wait for me by that pillar over there. We require but a moment. She smiles. Okay, mister, I'll be waiting. Runs off. I'll take it to the quicksand. Mayhap Momodi will know what to do. A legion of Garleans, an ether-starved primal, even dealing with an Ascian would be preferable to this charade. Sometimes I feel Minfilia is too ambitious. We rush hither and yon in response to threats as they arise, without concern for the strain it places on our limited resources and ourselves. Mayhap the time has come for a change. Mercy, this is Minfilia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Revenant's Toll with all due haste. The situation in the Twelveswood has taken a turn for the worse. I will explain in detail once you arrive. You explain what just happened to Alphinaud. The Twelveswood. Then the primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed. I have received no reports of Ixali activity, which leaves the Sylphs? Go, Mercy. You know as well as I that the appearance of a primal takes precedence over all else. Oh, and when you arrive, do inform the antecedent that while I am grateful for her concern, she needn't fear for my safety. I am more than capable of protecting myself. Ote. So off to Revenant's Toll. Oh, did I get a free teleport? Nope. Dang. Boo. Alright. Off to Revenant's Toll we go. With the little green frog one day. With the little green frog. And into the seventh heaven, and through the seventh heaven to the Rising Stones entrance, and into the Rising Stones entrance, and trying to make exciting times out of quite boring and routine things. Minfilia. It is a relief to see you healthy and hale, Mercy. The latest news from Ul'dah was most disturbing. You do some explaining, some splaining. Clearly, the only injury Alphinaud suffered was to his ego. Doubtless it will heal ere long. The other Scions will need to be present for this meeting. If you are ready to begin, I will summon them now. Sure, let's do it. Lord of Levin. Cutscene fade to black. Yashtola, Ida, Papalimo, and Thancred walk in. Thank you for responding to my call with such haste. Rest assured, I should not have summoned you were it not urgent. To business, then. I have received some most disturbing news from the Order of the Twin Adder. They have reason to believe that the Sylphs have called forth their revered guardian, the primal Ramu, or Rama, however you pronounce it. I'm sorry, may have? Then it is not certain, says Thancred. The elder Seatseer informs us that the elementals themselves murmur of the Lord of Levin's return to the forest. The Sylphlands, however, display no signs of undue commotion. Forgive me, Antecedent, but that fact need not contradict the elemental's testimony. Unlike his more bellicose compeers, Garuda and so on, Ramu is reported to act only in the defense of his children. I imagine he would soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly endanger the Sylphs or their territory. The abruptness of this development concerns me. Were we not keeping a close watch on the touched ones and their movements? If preparations for a summoning ritual were indeed underway, 'twould surely not have escaped your notice. Oh, it didn't. I was pretty sure it was going to happen, just not this soon. I beg your pardon. You foresaw this eventuality and did not to prevent it? I told Papalimo I suppose I could have reported things to Minfilia earlier, but there honestly wasn't much we could do except wait and see. You know how the Sylphs feel about people poking around in their territory. They already summoned Ramu once, right after the calamity, but that was because the Garleans came tramping through the forest. And so long as Castromorian stands, the Sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Ida and I are in agreement. The actions of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. And I maintain that observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. That, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violence in Uldad drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees. 'Tis like the Sylphs perceived this panicked migration as yet another invasion, and I don't know what accent I tried to devolve into there, and quickened their efforts to summon their god. I am put in mind of Titan and the kobolds. Once again, it is the affairs of men which have paved the way for a primal's coming. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place Eorzea would be without the civilizing influence, quote-unquote, of mankind. Be that as it may, this regrettable development does afford us a unique opportunity. Mercy, through your dealings with the Sylphs of Little Solace, you once succeeded in preventing an untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder, might one who has traded with the Sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieve similar success with their patron deity? If Ramu can be convinced of our intentions, it may be the first step to breaking the cycle of primal summoning. A fond hope. Were such a thing possible, we would not have been at war with the Beastmen since time immemorial. But maybe this time we can... Let us continue this discussion anon. We must needs first consult with the nation most affected by Ramu's presence. The Elder Seatseer has requested your personal involvement, Mercy. Pray report to Commander Haloi at the Adder's Nest as soon as you are able. Steel yourself for the worst. While I hope for a peaceful resolution to this matter, experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Levin will prove less than amicable. In such an event, your fellow scions will of course lend you whatever support you require. Riley have to do much talky. Make Riley throat hurty. Okay, we take the free teleport to Gridania. I have 1,001,125 gil. I'm practically rich. Oh gosh. And you take what you get and you turn it into... God, I love people and their creativity with the ability to play music in this game. Apparently there are copyright issues if you play a song too close to like the original, I guess, but I doubt it's a big deal. I doubt it happens often that it, yeah. Hopefully nobody noticed from my video that, anyway. Borsai Louis. Lieutenant Valkyr, your arrival has been most anticipated. The appearance of a primal is ever cause for alarm and unease. Though my men stand ready for any eventuality, I know of none more qualified than you to snuff out this threat. Indeed, I would have you do so without delay. The elder Seetsier, however, would speak with you first. She is of the opinion that your diplomatic, rather than martial, skills may better serve our cause. I will leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray make your way to Nofika's altar. The conjurer in attendance will admit you to the lotus stand. You have... okay. I still think that this quest given by Scarlet here, Let the Hunt Begin, is something that I do want to do, but at the same time, I could look it up. Oh, I mean, that just would take so much effort, like clicking buttons. And I'm trying to run, okay? Hold on. FFXIV, Let the Hunt Begin. Oops, okay. Not Maelstrom, Twin Adder. What is it? Oh, it unlocks the hunt. Is an initiative established by the Yorzine Alliance offering a bounty to adventurers aid in quelling the threat posed by... Okay. But yeah, it's a hunting thing beyond the hunting things we already have to do. For like hunting logs and such. Silent conjurer is probably not going to be so silent. Yeah, you're talking to me. You're letting me in. You're not silent. The other scions have already arrived, madam. May I show you in? Yes, of course. But of course, my friend. Good man. With due haste, thank you very much. Thancred, Papalymo, Yeshtola, Ida are here already. Kane Senna will be the one we talk to for the cutscene.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty.
We're at that like kind of lily pad shaped platform atop a thin layer of water, and then in the background are those three smallish waterfalls. It's beautiful.
I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramu is returned unto the forest.
Ah, she says Ramu. I'm gonna stick with it.
Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace.
I don't remember the names of these ones.
Our guest informs us that the sylphs, too, have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin. Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other primals you have encountered, Lord Ramu is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelveswood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided. Blessed as you are with the power of the Echo, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a primal without fear of influence. I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations. The Twelveswood has suffered enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramu himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples.
I was kind of hoping we would hear...
You have my thanks.
the Sylph's voice, but... They're just dancing around, happily.
Pray make for little solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin.
Letting Kane Senna do all the talking.
An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the Twelveswood that flinches at its coming. All the lands Veorzia shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
Okay. Oh, we got kicked out of the lily pad room. That's rude. I'll just take a teleport to the Hawthorne Hut in the East Shroud. Got 16 minutes on this video. I'm gonna keep going. Welcome to Jazzwolf. The Jazzwolf. I think that's off key a little bit, my bad. Here's the Serpent Lieutenant next to Comuxio and Laxio in Little Solace. Lieutenant Valkyr, I was told to expect you. I understand you go to treat with the primal Ramu himself, an unenviable task, but one for which I have no doubt that you are well suited. I have been told that your fellow scions are conducting an investigation of the area as we speak, that we might ascertain the location where the Lord of Levin might be found. I would ask that you abide here until they return with their findings. Sure, whatever. I'll take some gil from ya. Levin, an impression. Levin, an impression. Like leaving an impression. Anyway, you got it, I think. I pronounced it poorly. Anyway. I was told that a messenger would be sent as soon as your fellow scions finished with their investigation. I do not imagine it will be much longer. This one returns, and returns with good tidings. Wise ones have finished searching, and have wisely identified the precise location where the touched one summoned Lord Ramu, says Maxio. Your timing is impeccable, my fluttery friend. Might you be so kind as to escort this good woman to her fellow scions? It would be this one's pleasure, walking one. Please come with this one. She floats/flies off. And I get to Jazzwolf. To the northeast. Along this path. I'm going to go along the paths. Along a bridge, even though I'm flying. Suspension bridge, and then kind of a little bit north, and then very, very north, past some axe beaks and some noxious plants, under some like archways of branches, and past some ochus and some big old tree ants. More ochus, more tree ants. Some wind elementals, wind sprites, and we have reached Maxio in front of, well, nothing really. I think he's hiding. Wise ones have ventured deep within the Sylphlands. These ones must proceed carefully and keep an eye out for touched ones. We will go further north. Now, I was wondering, like, this didn't seem like it was it. We'll go to the northeast, past a giant dream toad, some big old trees, some condors. Then to the north and then northwest. There are some little gates and structures and tiny little kind of light pole kind of things set up here and there. But not a lot. It's mostly just forest and relying on the forest land to do its thing. Some fungars, however you want me to pronounce it. I don't care. Sylph bonnets. We reached Maxio again. This one is most sorry, but this one can go no further. Draw too close to Lord Ramu, and this one may turn mean and nasty like touched ones. And so this one must say farewell for now. Walking one will find wise ones not far from here, to the south. Go in safety, walking one. To the south? Oh, I guess it is that way, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so we will go paths to the west, and they kind of turn a bit south, but before they do, we really reach Papalimo and crew here. Some big purple mushrooms. Look kind of flowery, honestly. Flowery purple mushrooms. So it's actually you. I'm relieved. For a moment I thought we were dealing with another one of those confounded Sylph tricksters. I swear, with them wreaking havoc with their skin-changing magics, it's a wonder I was able to finish taking my measurements. Yes, it was quite the ordeal. You should have seen the look on Y'shtola's face when the one impersonating you suddenly showed up. That's quite enough, Papalymo. Ahem, my apologies. It's not like me to ramble so. At any rate, as I was saying, I have finished measuring etheric activity in the area, and I'm pleased to say I've reached an indisputable conclusion. To wit, that Ramu was called forth in the vicinity of the Sylph's Aetheryte. Come, Mercy, the Lord of Levin awaits. Let's pop my camera on just to cover up my free company. I don't know why people do that. Maybe it's a privacy thing. They just want to make sure privacy is up. Ooh, there's that big old muck thing, level 50. It's like a special monster. Probably for like that hunt, one of those hunt things I was reading about just recently. And we are at that big old crystal, like Aetherite. This one is for Ramu, deep in the forest. Surrounded by touched sylphs, you know, those kind of dark purple colored ones. They turn to us and are scared away. They rush toward the crystal and fly up above it. Up above it.
Thine order betrays thee, servant of Heidelin.
A big, thick bolt of lightning flashes down, and there's Ramu. Looks just like the Ramu from all the other games, really. Long, flowing white beard, an old man kind of thing, has a staff, purple and black kind of robes all around him, with a really high...
Thou art the bringer of light, bane of Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, and Leviathan.
Hey, the way I've been pronouncing Ifrit, or Ifrit, is close. Anyway.
I am Ramu, guardian of the children of the forest. Thou tramplest upon sacred soil, bringer of light. By what right doth man intrude in this sanctuary of the sylphs?
Of all the people to talk, it's you.
Redanians proffer peace? Their words are born of delusion. Thine offer, an insult.
Any of the other 4 scions could have actually talked. And you would have had voice acting there, but eh.
Thou speakest of harmony, yet carest naught for my children's desires. They did but wish to dwell beneath these boughs in solitude. Yet even that was too much to ask of man.
The scary purple, well, not scary, the purple dark sylphs have kind of like flown up to like just behind Ramu to look kind of menacing along with him. Oh, I can turn off my camera again. We're in a cutscene.
Thus did they turn to me for succor. The sentence I pronounce upon thy kind is just.
Succor. Sorry.
Redanian or Garlean, it matters not. The good intent of one excuseth not the misdeeds of the other.
Literally, his beard is bigger than he is in total mass. So, not exactly a lot like the other Ramus from other games, but...
Thy conflicts have brought naught but anguish and misery unto the forest. All blame doth lie with the darkness that resideth in the breast of man.
I can show you the light that resides in my breast. I came out kind of wrong, but...
Whence sprung this calamitous seed? In the beginning no such duality existed. Were light and dark given form when man was born? It would explain much, not least why strife and sorrow follow ever in thy wake. Thou canst not deny the urgings of thine own nature. Knowing that thy mere presence here portendeth tragedy, wilt thou persist in this pretense of peacemaking?
Oh, see, there's that light.
Thou bearest the crystal which I bestowed upon my wayward charges. that they should entrust so precious a gift to thee.
You held up that purple crystal you were given a long time ago, I think, from one of the Sylph elders.
Thou standest apart from thy kin. Thou art the bringer of light, aye. But there is something more in thee. Very well. I shall consider thy proposal, shouldst thou survive my trial. If thou wouldst champion the cause of harmony, I must have proof that thou art fit to play the role. Wither mine ire, and prove to me thereby that thou hast strength enough to stay the darkness which threateneth to consume thee. Yet if thou shouldst be found wanting, know that all men shall perish in the storm of my judgment.
The Ramu extreme fight is so hard. I haven't actually done it successfully because I did it accidentally, and the rest of the group, I think, may have done it accidentally, thinking they need to do it to progress in the story. You don't. Anyway. He raises his staff into the air, and lightning just sparks all around it, and then he winks out of existence in this big...
Come to me, bringer of light. I shall await thee on the field of battle.
Yeah, he pops out, he like warps out, teleports out in this big ball of like lightning light.
Urianger, it is rare indeed to find you so far from a tome.
The Lord of Levin himself. Never till this day had I looked upon his visage, save in painted renderings made faint by time. Ever shall this scene remain etched in my mind's eye. Beg pardon, my lady. I must beg thine aid on a point of research. If thou art resolved to face Lord Ramu, I would ask thy leave to observe the event.
Of course you can watch me kick some lightning butt. Old man Latin butt. The striking tree, hard, is now accessible. Okay, we're going to use our free teleport to go back to Gridania, just to soak up some rested experience points. Resting experience points? Whatever. That is going to be the end of this video, I believe. Yeah, I'll join the queue for it as White Mage, just to get a quick... And be you by my side with my superhuman, my kryptonite, yeah. Go crazy, then we'll still go Superman. Anyway, yeah, I'll queue for that as White Mage. This gives me quicker queues. This video is 29 minutes long on the dot. Bye.